the gimmick and wins. From beginning to end, no gimmick. If I rap it, dude, I live it then. And you can't do it, so ain't no need for mimicking. I'm not innocent, I'm on a mission, so let me finish it. Matter of time before they summon the army in. I'm probably on the FBI's most wanted list. I'm probably gonna end up hung like an ornament. I'm on a life mission to apologize to government.
Look around and tell me what you think, because it's coming down, are you listening? Stop and look, this is what I mean. Yeah, it's going down, it's going down. Open your eyes, the state you're in is a state of mind. Freedom disguised, the state you're in is a state of mind.
What's up? What's up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Liberty Hour. I hope you guys have had a great week. Been not too crazy for me, I will say. I've been able to do some stuff with some of my friends who are on spring break from Sierra right now. But obviously have been doing stuff. I had my radio show on, yesterday for KSSU. I have been doing, some assignments for school this week. It's been semi-busy on that front. But I'm glad to be back here on Liberty Hour once again. I wanted to thank my good friend Al Armitage for being on last week. I had a great time going over some stuff with him. This podcast was going to be a little longer. I was actually supposed to have another person on as well. I was supposed to have a two-person podcast, but one of them unfortunately had to cancel last moment. But I do still have one on with me for today's show. Later on in this podcast, I will be getting into my NFL predictions for this upcoming season. That will be at the very end. But for right now, I would like to welcome my good friend who I have known pretty much ever since, I would say, junior year of high school. I think that sounds about right. Been hanging out with him ever since, been doing stuff. He is involved with some EDM stuff like my friend Ricky, does some music stuff. And that is my good friend Erik. How you doing, Erik?
Hey, what's going on, Aaron?
Good, man. Good. I'm glad I finally was able to have you on. I know I wanted to, and eventually in the summertime, I'm going to have my friend Kendrick on as well. He does some stuff with music. He actually has his own band who just released their first EP. But I'm glad I'm able to have you on so we can, talk about music and all that kind of stuff as well. But outside of that, obviously I understand, you go to Sierra, you're on spring break right now. I know you have a job as well doing some construction stuff. So tell me what you've been up to recently and how just life's going in general for you.
Well, let's see. Let's start with work. Like, that just takes up like most of my time right now. I'm just going from, I want to say 8 a.m. till, we've been having days where it's like 8 p.m. because we have projects, like big projects to do for landscaping. So, we want to get ahead.
My bad. Not construction, landscaping.
No, it all sounds the same. I know, Aaron. No, I'm just kidding, bro. No, but yeah, we get a lot of small jobs, so we just try to get the bigger stuff done, and we try to get the smaller stuff done quicker. So it's like you're trying to balance everything, but it's kind of hard, but you put in a lot of hours, but in the end, it's worth it.
Now, you work with your dad, is that right? You work with your dad?
Yeah, I've been working with him since I was like in 8th, 7th grade.
Yeah, and you are pretty much work like 5-6 days a week, like you were saying. So obviously, I know you do work for like some people, their houses and stuff like that. So what is like for your guys' company? I would say, I don't know if you're independent or if you guys have your own company, but what I was going to ask you is, how far out around the area do you go for work? Like, what is your guys' like range for that?
Usually, well, we try to keep it local, so that would be Lincoln, Rockland, Roseville, but we stretch out a little bit out to Auburn because we also do maintenance. So we're mowing lawns and all that, so we kind of stretch out a little bit out there, but not too much. So just try to keep it local.
And And you know, I know that you usually have like 5 or 6 day work weeks, and like you were saying, sometimes days are really long. Are there any times of the year or any specific times that you have like slower weeks where there's not as much to do? And then when that's going on, do you usually just have the days off? Or explain to me like when you don't have as much like places where you're being hired to work, what you do at those times.
Well, I don't know what a day off is. I'm just kidding. I'm just
I
kidding,
think all
bro.
college students
Um,
could say that.
no, but work usually it slows down during the winter. So like on rainy days, you really can't do much because everything's just it's all wet. So like you try to mow lawns and just the grass just gets everywhere. It's a mess, dude. Like you don't want to be working in the rain. Plus it messes up your equipment and stuff. So we try to avoid the rainy season. Like try to not get as many jobs during that time. We try to slow it down a little bit. But as soon as we see like, what weather's coming in right, 70, 80 degrees, like once it starts up, then we just go ham, we just go, which is, I want to say springtime till winter, basically spring to winter.
And I would assume, doing all that gets you, you don't have to say the exact amount, but I would assume that gets you pretty darn good money.
Yeah, it does. I'm not gonna lie, it does.
Is there any like for the cost difference? I was gonna say, what is like, are there certain jobs that you make a lot more than others? Like, explain to me like how that goes with like if there's a certain like length of time for those jobs that goes off that, or if it just go like explain to me how that all works.
Well, for me, it would be how much we get done that month, and then also on top of that, if the person we did the job for like gives us a tip. So it would be, for me, it'd be, oh, we got 2-3 jobs done. All right, you get that amount plus, a little bonus here and there, It just depends how much we get done. That's as far as it goes with me. Cause I don't really have what is it? A W-2 form?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't have one of those, with my dad. Cause it's just his company. He runs it. So he's like, oh, you don't need one of those right now. So it's just whatever. It's kind of whatever he wants to pay me is what I'm looking at.
Now, obviously, I've been to your place a couple of times. I know that you live out in the outskirts, the country part of Lincoln. Even though Lincoln is considered more of a country town, you live in the real countryside of Lincoln, past Carl and C. Cop. And I was going to ask you, so what is there to do over there? I mean, obviously you have a good amount of land. I know you have an ATV and stuff like that. So what I was going to ask you is like, for where you live and stuff, what do you usually do in your free time?
We hunt squirrels, we hunt skunk. No, I'm just kidding. Usually, well, it's because I'm always working, but on my free time, usually we like to ATV. Just whenever we have time, or sometimes we like to shoot. So we shoot at bottles, we shoot at just whatever the hell we have, just to pass the time. Or let's see, what else do we do? Play soccer because we just have land, for days. So
you have like, and you have like, I don't know. Is it chickens? You have some sort of farm animals as well, right?
Yeah, I have chickens as well, and I just recently got 2 dogs.
Nice.
It's, the German. Yeah, I got a German Shepherd and a husky.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I remember when I went over to your place. So ATV riding was not my strength. Shooting was okay. Because I don't usually do that kind of stuff because I'm not in an area exactly where that's great because I'm in the urban part of Lincoln. Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, I was going to ask you, in terms of school, because I know you go to Sierra right now and you're going for your AA. I seem to remember you mentioned to me one time that you're going for you're trying to get like a business license or something like that.
It was a real estate license.
Real estate license.
So
that's right.
Yeah. So I'm almost done with that. I'm looking at hopefully 2 semesters. If I don't fuck up somewhere,
Yeah.
like just flunk class and just having to take over. But other than that, I'm looking at getting out in two semesters. So next spring.
What do you because obviously I went to Sierra and now I'm over at SAC. What are some parts of Sierra that you like the most when it comes to either the campus, your classes, professors, whatever, and then what are the aspects of it that you would say you like that you dislike the most or like the least?
Mm, well, I spend most of my time at the library because everybody's just kind of doing them. They don't really bother anybody. Nobody really talks to you because they're like, oh, just mind your own business. Do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I spend most of my time just at the library, just catching up with the homework and all that. But well, the first few semesters, we kind of spent our time by the theater,
Okay.
and one of our friends
Yeah,
actually.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
I'm not gonna say his name. I don't want to throw his name out there, but one of our friends used to. There's a fountain in the middle of the theater, and this guy he would nosedive in there. It was crazy. Like he would just dive in. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just going for a bath. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
It was
you
just,
showed me like an Instagram video of that.
yeah,
Oh
it's
my
just
god.
crazy, dude. And then I don't know, man. That guy's wild, but he's a cool guy. And go
Go
ahead, go ahead.
ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
Other than that, I don't really dislike anything about it.
Yeah, I would say
Mm.
the counseling there was actually pretty darn good when I was there. What I was going to ask you is because I know that sometimes they have stuff going on, in the quad. Their quad is probably the smallest quad I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, dude. My high school quad was bigger than that, dude.
Exactly, Lincoln was bigger than that. But what I was going to say is, do you ever notice like anything big going on in the quad, or have you ever seen like any interesting moments like where there's been like people like arguing with you, like have you ever noticed anything like political going on out there, or like have you what do you like have you ever noticed anything in the quad out there by any chance?
Uh, I don't know. Everybody's just like pretty chill, so there's not really arguments and all that. Like other than them just like kind of putting up. What would it be? Just they do like a year-round thing. I don't know. Like all the classes come out and they just put up tents and they do all that. I think it's for multicultural or I don't know, something like that.
So I
But
didn't go ahead. Yeah.
other than that, they don't really do anything.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about Syria. It was pretty chill in that respect. To give you an idea, and this doesn't obviously always happen at SAC, but there's usually most of the time something going on in the library quad there. My friend Juan, our friend Juan, he told me about this when we were hanging out the other night. I guess he saw it. I want to say it was on Wednesday or Thursday. There was this one guy in the quad. He's a super religious guy, and he was coming saying, I want to say it was something along the lines of because I've seen this guy before, something about you're a sinner if you have sex before marriage or something like something is hot, don't be a thought, or it was something like that. And what was really funny is this one chick. From what he told me, he said there was this one chick that was getting in like some argument with him, and she flashed him.
Oh, geez. What? She straight up just flashed him?
That's what Juan told me. So I mean, like
Oh.
the thing is, I haven't witnessed that personally at SAC, but I have witnessed some interesting, arguments and stuff going on. I don't know if I've told you this story. I've told a couple other of our friends this story, but I didn't. Once again, I wasn't physically there to witness it, but I'm part of the organization where this happened. So I write for the State Hornet on campus, the school newspaper, and when we were distributing one of our issues a few weeks back that had to do about the Stephon Clark thing, where he was the cop who killed him was basically acquitted of any crimes or anything like that from the Attorney General of Sacramento. Basically, when we ran, our paper that had to do with the Stephon Clark coverage, we had, I don't know what group it was some conservative group that came over with like 3 people, and they were just starting to not get into our faces, but calling us out essentially for all kind of stuff, fake news and everything. And there was literally, I kid you not, from videos I saw in the article we ran, 100 to 120 people that were out there that were arguing, complaining to each other. One was about to throw a rock at another person. I mean, it got pretty heated, which was really interesting. So, what I'll say is, I like Sierra because it's not in a super urban area. It seems much more of a chill campus, even though you're always going to have classes in college that are going to push some sort of agenda, in my opinion. But SAC, even though I like it for the opportunities I've been given, there's definitely some interesting things that go on for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my God. Yo, back when I was in high school over there, crazy shit, dude. There was always riots. At the end of the year, you saw somebody getting arrested. There was just fights all the time, and it was a senior year when I was over here. I heard from my cousin because he was still there. He told me, he's like, yeah, dude, there was this fight in the cafeteria, and I guess the principal wanted to jump in and stop it.
I hate to interrupt your story, but that's the end of part one. We'll be right back with part two.
Oh,